Hey everybody, and welcome to Kara's Book Talk. Today I'm going to be reviewing Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. This is a contemporary book, which I don't generally read, and mostly it's because I don't really like contemporary books. They're just not really my cup of tea, but about once a year, really, in the summer, I really kind of get in this mood where I want to read something different, and generally I try and pick up a contemporary read. This book was on the 2017 Goodreads Choice Award winner, and so I saw it for the Goodreads Choice Choice Awards when it was going around, and I was initially drawn in with this cover because I just think it's beautiful. But I didn't really know a whole lot going in, and I knew Colleen Hoover is a very big name, and a lot of people really like her books, but I've never read any of them, so figured I'd give this one a shot. But it's probably going to be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but we'll get into that. So if you knew nothing about this book, like I did, the main character's name is Merritt, and she has kind of a complicated family life, and her situation at home is really different, and she is 17, I want to say, and she is a senior in high school, about to graduate. She has a twin sister, an older brother, her dad, her mom, who are divorced. Her dad is remarried, and she has a stepbrother. Um, so all of that is pretty standard family information. There's a lot more that goes into this family dynamic than that, but we'll get into it. So I rated this book, first of all. On Goodreads, I rated it 4 stars right after I finished reading it. But really thinking about it now, I probably rate it closer to 2.5 or 3 stars. Then probably, I don't know, maybe at least, it's been at least 2 weeks since I've read this book. And I don't know if I would reread. I know I'm never going to reread this book. The main character, first of all, let's just get into it. So the reasons why I rated this book pretty low for me at 2.5 stars is because it took a long time for me to get into this book. I wasn't even initially drawn into the book until about page 50, and even then, it was literally because a side character was introduced that I was like, I want to know more about you. And that was it. And that's literally why I kept reading the story. I almost gave up on it multiple times, but I don't like giving up on books, so I just pushed through, and I really enjoyed the ending, so I am glad I stayed for that, which is the initial reason why I gave the book 4 stars on Goodreads, because I liked the ending so much. But yeah, that beginning was rough for me, and then I wasn't even, it wasn't even the main character. Like I said, it was a side character who I wasn't even sure what we were gonna continue to get to know. The main character, she has a really interesting way of viewing the world and talking about the world, and she's kind of secluded. She's a loner. She doesn't really talk to anyone, like literally no one. She lives with her family, but she doesn't really talk to them. And she doesn't go to school. She's like basically dropped out of school at this point. So you don't get like any dialogue at all in the beginning chapters. And like seriously until like page 50. I mean, there's like a little bit, but not a whole lot. A lot of it is really just inner monologue about who she is, backstory, how her family dynamic is, and I found that to be really boring. I mean, we're in our world, we don't really need world building, and I just felt like it took really long to set up to actually get anywhere. Also, so she has a twin sister, and in the first couple of I seriously feel like literally chapter one. Yeah, chapter one. Chapter one in this book, she's um at a pawn shop basically, and she's looking at these trophies. She collects trophies, and so she's looking at trophies, and she notices a guy watching her, and she, like initially it really creeps her out. She's like, "Why is this guy staring at me?" And like she goes like doing her own thing, and she's like keeping an eye out for this guy. She's like, "Where's he at? What's he doing? Why is he staring at me?" So she goes and checks out and buys her trophy, and then the guy like catches up to her and starts talking to her, and then they just like randomly kiss. Like he kisses her. How is that okay? Like literally in the first chapter, she's freaked out by this guy who's like stalking her, and then she's just like, we kissed, and it was the best kiss in the whole world, and it changed my life. Because I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I've never been kissed before, even though she has. But it's like, no, that's not okay. Not okay. So, like, literally in the first chapter, I was already not okay with how the main character is viewing this guy. And of course, that guy becomes the love interest, because who doesn't love a creepy stalker person? Anyways, so it turns out that the creepy guy is friends with her sister, her twin sister, and he thought that she was her twin. He didn't realize that they were twins, or if she had a twin sister. So he thought Merritt was her twin sister, Honor. And so Merritt, this whole like beginning portion of the book, thinks that this boy and her sister are dating, and now she has like all these feelings for him, even though she's literally talked to him for 2 seconds, had one amazing kiss, and can't get him out of her mind because why not? Girl, I hate it when books portray like teenage girls that are just like, I just met you and I love you. Like, no, that's not how that works. You might have a little bit of a crush on him, you might think he's cute, but literally if your first initial thought is that the guy is creepy, no, no. You do not like go 1 second being like, oh, he's creepy, he's stalking me, and then the next second be like, oh, well, we kissed and it was amazing. It's the best kiss I've ever had. Girl, no, no. So that was my like initial problem right off the bat. And the way that Merritt views the world is just so completely different from any character I've ever read, and it's not how I think at all. And so that was also part of my problem getting into this book. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of dialogue, so it's really just her inner like monologue and thinking and like how she views the world, and it was just very, very different from how I think and feel, and so it was a little like it was hard for me to get into her mind as a character, and it was hard for me to just like instantly have that connection with the book where you're just like dive in and instantly you're like, yes, I love this world, I love these characters. So that was my initial issue with it, and then we like find out all of the family drama, and like her family is crazy. There's like all of these layers and secrets, and that's a lot of what Merritt's problem is that there's so many secrets within her family that she just can't deal with it. And she knows a lot about a lot of them, but like she feels like she's the only one in the family that knows anything about it, and so she just feels like everyone in her family is bullshitting a lot of the time and pretending to be someone they're not, and she hates it. Like, she hates her dad, she hates her stepmom, she hates her mom. She hates her big brother, which you find out there's a valid reason why later. And then her and her twin aren't really close, and in fact, they're not close at all. They like don't even talk. But there's no reason given as to why, just that they don't really talk anymore, even though they used to. reason why, just cut ties. So that bothered me as well. And then also, I really, really hate it. And this is like a personal pet peeve, so I'm sure some people are not going to find this annoying. But I really hate it when your main character is like, I don't get along with my big brother. And he did something to me that was just awful. But I'm not gonna like dance around the issue. Song and dance around the issue so you kind of know but you don't know. And like literally that's how this whole book was. It's like, oh, there's a secret. There's a secret and you're not gonna know what that secret is because it's just too traumatizing for me to even talk about or think about or do anything with it until I'm drunk and write everybody's secrets out and then try to kill myself. Spoiler alert. Okay, seriously though, there are suicide attempts in this book. There's depression. There is. I feel like those are the two biggest like triggers for this book. But I did not go into this book thinking anything at all like that was going to happen. And for it to it was seriously so prominent. Like she seriously has depression, and she does try to commit suicide. So I just feel like if you cannot handle something like that for a character, you really need to know. Putting that out there for people that need to know this information. But yeah, like she just feels so cut off from everyone, and she feels like it's just a spiral. Like she stops going to school. Nobody asks texts her to see where she is. She says like only two people have texted me since I stopped going to school. She feels like her family doesn't care what she does. She feels that like literally nobody would care what happens to her. And so then a lot of stuff like kind of leads up to this point, but she gets drunk and then she takes some pills, and then she writes a letter out to her family with all of the family secrets on it, and gives a copy to everybody, and then thinks that she's gonna die. And then she freaks out because she's not ready to die, and then she has her brother help her basically throw up the pills, and just, I don't know. I just felt like there was everything in the kitchen sink in this book, and it was just thrown at you. Like, parents are divorced. Mom had cancer, and dad divorced her and then married the nurse that was taking care of the mom because the nurse got knocked up, and the dad felt like he had to take care of the baby. Okay, then you've got a twin who doesn't even like you. You've got a brother that did something horrible to you that nobody knows about, and you think everybody loves your brother and your sister, but not you. And then your mom lives with you in the basement of her ex-husband's house because she's crazy and cannot take care of herself. And so the dad feels responsible to take care of her. So that happened. And like you find out there's way more into like the stuff with the mom, but you literally don't find out about that until like a third of the book, like 2/3 of the book is over, so you're like in the last third of the book. That's it. Like you don't find out anything about the mom, and there's like these whole big reasons, and like I guess that is part of the point of the book is that there's even more secrets in the family. But there's seriously so many secrets in this family. It's ridiculous. And then you have the stepmom's brother shows up. So to Merritt, it's like a step uncle, and he's like 20, and she's 17. And then they're talking about how he has sex all the time with like random people, and he's like, "Oh, you're a virgin?" She's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, well, that's cool, whatever." And she's like asking him about sex and everything, and then he's like, yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal to me, and I just wanted to get it over with. And so then she starts thinking, like, yeah, I just want to get it over with. So then she asks him to have sex with her. A 20-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old. First of all, that's illegal. Second of all, you're kind of family. Third of all, it's just weird. You've known this kid for like 2 days. Okay, that's valid. I mean, I don't know how people deal with booty calls because that's just not how I work. But like, people do have booty calls all the time, so I guess that would work. But I mean, he's also living with your family currently in your house. And you have to see him all the time. Like, if you're gonna do a booty call, do it with someone you're literally never gonna go see again. Because I feel like that'd be weird. Anyway, so they're like almost gonna do the act, and then he's like, I can't do it. She's like, well, why not? And he's like, I just can't do it right now. And she's like, oh, okay. So they don't have sex, and she's still a virgin. And then she's just like, finds like there's just so much in this book that it's just like goes on and on and on. I mean, honestly, initially after that first 170 pages, it's just like boom, 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 boom. It just keeps coming at you. I mean, honestly, that's why I couldn't put it down after that 170 pages. Finally, all the drama was actually getting good and all the secrets were coming out, and it was actually really interesting. But it took 170 pages to get there. I'm sorry, but 200 pages to get into a book is excessive for me. Like, like I said at the beginning of this video, I almost quit multiple times. And I don't know if I would honestly really recommend this book to anybody. Um, I the only good thing, which is why I didn't exactly give it 1 star, is because I feel like the book did show, like, after all the secrets were out, after she tried committing suicide, after all of this stuff happened, her family does, like, get the help that they need. She goes to therapy. They have family therapy. Like, it, they're working through the problems. It's not just like all of a sudden the problems aren't there, but they're getting help for it, which I feel like is a really good way to portray it, because your problems don't instantly disappear in the real world, and also, like, getting help is really, really good for you feel like if you feel like you need it. Like, I've seen a therapist before, and it really, really helped me. And I feel like people in society nowadays really frown upon, like, seeking that mental help if you really need it. And I feel like this book did do a really good job of showing that it can be a huge improvement in your life and help you mentally and, like, all this stuff. And also, I felt like it did a really good job of showing how depression is not just like a deep sadness, but like it can be feeling lonely, it can be feeling like cut off from other people, and it can be felt in different ways by different people. Because again, I feel like society puts us into boxes, and it's like depression means this, and if you don't check these off, then you're not depressed. But it can really affect you in different ways, and I thought the book showed a good way of that, and so I did appreciate that aspect of this book. Um, and oh my goodness, guys, the little stepbrother is just adorable. I did like him a lot. But yeah, okay, that's the end of my super ranty video for this book, Without Merit. If you read it and you liked it, comment below. If you agree with me and you didn't like it, comment below, or like these videos and subscribe to my videos. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye!